going southbound. I've been hellbound, riding on the midnight train. Going too fast now, think I ought to slow down, standing in the pouring rain.
What's up, guys? Tristan and Tony back with the One Hell of a Life Outdoor Podcast. You might notice it says Grandpa Vogel, and that is
let's
because
go.
Kade and I are expecting July 24th. We just put that news out into the world, and Tony's going to be a grandpa.
That's right. Hey, son, I'm sorry in advance. I'm going to be holding on to that baby more than you can even imagine.
Hold on, I got to put Do Not Disturb on my damn thing here. I was getting texts. But yeah, so wanted to hop on here, do a podcast. Obviously the setup's a little bit different. And as you can see, we're not together, but I'm at my house and Tony's obviously there in the studio. You don't get to see that view of the studio very often. Actually never, because the way we have the podcast set up. But
yeah, the table's actually over here.
It's a pretty cool little spot. We have a good time there. So
Yep.
But you know, a few things tonight we wanted to talk to y'all about, and just kind of, I don't know, just, I guess the only way to describe it is just frustration about this weather.
Well, no. First of all, before we get into that, dude, let's talk about Williamson Outfitters and this vet hunt, dude.
Well, I think the date to submit stuff was 2 days ago. So.
Oh, was it? Okay, all right. I just didn't know. All right.
Yeah, that's why I plugged it last week, just because I think Chris said the 20th was the cutoff if you were going to sponsor and stuff. But regardless, check out Williamson Outfitters. They're one of our sponsors on the podcast. And not even just ducks. Like, they have a lot of great diver duck opportunities, obviously, but duck season's over. They do fishing and stuff all year.
Gigging, gator hunts, inshore, offshore fishing. I mean, it's like a outdoors outdoorsman's paradise.
Yeah, for sure. But
he even does turkey hunting.
Yeah, they do a lot. But anyway, so kind of just frustrating that, you know, we're all in this position where we're coming to the last, you know, week of duck season here, last 10 days of duck season, and we're finally getting the weather that we needed for weeks. I mean, this is the water conditions are going to be there because of all this rain and snow melt off. And I mean, Kade, you know, they're in Cache, Arkansas. They're looking for, like, and I'm not, I mean, I will believe it when I see it, but, you know, the apps are saying anywhere from like 12 to like 20 inches of snow there, and, which is just insane. And like 10 days with freezing temperatures, like, it's probably going to be frozen up the you know, the remainder of duck season there, which kind of sucks. I mean, if you're in like Louisiana, you're like, hell yeah, this is about to get good. But them boys in Arkansas and anywhere else, kind of in that line, are kind of cussing right now.
Okay. I mean, I hate the fact that I can't see crap unless I have my glasses. I guess I'm gonna have to just leave my glasses on, but they're all scratched up from falling in a duck blind.
Yeah, no doubt. But
no, man. I mean, it's tough. It is tough right now, and you know, all of us are dealing with it. If you are in an area, I mean, it's got to be the same thing. You know, talking anywhere on that line where duck season's still open. You know, if you're in one of those states, you know, it's a bummer, dude. You know, I don't know, like Tennessee's probably one of those, maybe Ohio. I'm not sure about, you know, and then the northern parts of a lot of our states in the South, you know, are going to be dealing with it. So yeah, it's a bummer, dude. And, you know, I feel sorry for all the hunters that, you know, take their time and their money and put their PTO in and plan this stuff out a year in advance. And man, a lot of outfitters just gotta shut things down, you know. Yeah. And it's just Mother Nature, man.
Yeah, unless you're hunting, I mean, it's gonna be so damn cold that even like moving large bodies of waters might freeze. I don't know, but you know, when you're hunting, you know, water that's less than 18 inches deep, I mean, there's just no way to keep that open unless you have, I don't know, a heated pond or 100 ice heaters or something. I don't know. There's probably a way there's probably some outfitter that you got to pay like $1,500 a day to hunt at that probably keeps it open. But as they should.
Right. Well, and if you got deep enough water, you know, that's what you get away with a lot of times in the timber is, and you timber guys know this and girls, is that, you know, that water is usually a little deeper. The trees actually help keep the water temperature up, so you timber
Well,
folks are probably it's probably going to be a banger. If you have deep enough water on the positive side, and you can stick it out and you're tough enough, and I know there's some private outfitters, and people with private land that have the same type of habitat. I think you guys are going to just like potentially really jam them. I mean, jam them
yeah.
good. I mean, honestly, but when it comes to the rice field setting and stuff, and it comes to geese, they're all going to be heading south, bro.
So we were talking about
Which
that
is
a
great
little
for
bit.
southern folks, right?
Oh yeah, this could genuinely be like I think I saw Jace Robertson talking about it like, but this could be like a once in 10 years type situation for like folks in Louisiana.
This is
Could
called the duck vortex.
I mean like we got that really good one that we hunted in Arkansas last year, but
Yeah.
that may not be even hold a candle to what this does because I mean this might be like ducks have to leave for survival.
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you
I
know
mean, it's amazing what they will stand, what they will withstand. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
obviously, these ducks that come to where they go, whether
Hmm.
you're in the Mississippi Flyway or the Central Flyway, they're not used to what this is about to bring on,
Yeah.
so they're going to have to respond, and they're going to have to eat a lot. And I don't know. I mean, I'd love to know why some stick around and some of them say, I'm getting out. It's probably just like people, there's a hurricane coming, and there's some people that go, yeah, dude, I'm going to Minnesota. And then you got some people that are like, you know what? You ain't going to hit us, even though the weatherman said the ice coming right over my house.
Right.
I mean, let's face it, people, I mean, as smart as we are, we're also kind of that dumb, right? A lot of times I mean, when we look at like what that does to waterfowl, it's like a slow death in a sense, if they, they'll hang out. We've seen all of Forbes pictures before, where there was that year, a couple years back, where the Mississippi or Illinois froze up, one of the two, and it just showed this big circle, um, and there was full coots, and there was
Yeah.
bald eagles all around it and standing around it, and it was just it looked like a donut with a red circle around it, and they were just picking them off, and yeah, it's coots. Okay, everybody can joke about how dumb they are, but I also know there's a ton of coots down south too. So, but that's just an example of, why does that happen? I don't know. There's a bunch of them that said, "Screw that, I'm going to South Louisiana or wherever." So
Yeah. I was just talking to Jay that we hunted with in Florida on Instagram, and he was saying they're going to Mississippi, I guess, a snow goose hunt, him with a couple guys or whatever. And I'm like, well, I'm like, it ought to be freaking good because all those snow geese, like from what I've heard, like snow geese like it's funny they don't like the
that's
snow.
probably why he texted me and asked me to send him that snow goose video.
Well, right, yeah, probably. Oh, that's exactly why. Because I told him I was texting you. I didn't have the video, but I told him I'm like, you got to see this video. But no doubt. I mean, the geese they know what's going on. I mean, and Kade said something again about it today. That's what they're doing. They're moving ahead of this storm, and it's funny. Like snow geese don't like the snow really.
No,
so
no, unless they're like having babies in it and shit. I don't know. I
no, I
mean,
mean not even because when they're back up way in the the polar north, when they go up there, it's I'm sure it's so cold, but it's like it's not winter. They're only up
yeah,
there in like the spring and summer, so they kind of are just always trying to be ahead of that weather. I feel like so it should
yeah.
be good. It should be a really good snow goose season.
Yeah, so I mean, so I guess there's kind of a couple ways you can look at this, and one way is there's a lot of people that are, I mean, just season's over as
Hmm.
far as duck season goes. But for y'all in the South, I hope you guys shoot them in the face so hard. Like, I mean, I want to see people like post stuff that are like, dude, legendary hunt. This never happened. I mean, I think we're going to see some stuff like that, man.
I hope so because it's been. I mean, just about everybody I talk to. Sure, there's people that are just gonna always smack their ducks or whatever, but I mean, across the board, it has been a tough duck season for just about anybody you talk to.
Yeah. Well, and you know what? I'm thinking about this from a numbers standpoint and how crazy duck hunters really are because we've been there. And literally, I could definitely not, I will not throw shade at a single person that's just like, bro, I had like this 3-day trip booked with this outfitter and a flight and all this stuff, and they canceled it and just rebooked it all and just said, I'm going south. I'm migrating south with the herd and I'm chasing them, dude. I mean, there's going to be y'all that do that. I'm not going to be that guy or gal, but I think if you put the work in, man, and you do it, I think that you're gonna wreck them.
Yeah, I hope
So
so.
good for y'all. I mean, I really hope that that's what happens.
Yeah, around there, about Texas, Louisiana, those areas.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, I gotta get a beer.
Mississippi. No, but a couple other. Oh, look at Ike in the background. Oh,
There's Ike though.
no, a couple other things. So obviously, got the merch, got the new hat on. But if y'all like what we do here, check out OneHellOfALifeOutdoors.com. We got all kinds of merch on there. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is a new thing we're doing on the podcast, where basically once a month we're just gonna have a random listener. And what I think is cool about this is just like I thought about this last night, and we're always thinking of ways to like get more involved with listeners and like build a community and things like that. And I don't think there'd be a better way to do that than to just do a drawing every month and have just a random person on the podcast. We're pretty like, we're definitely not the podcast where it's like every guest has to be this like prestigious guest or something like that.
Right.
But, we, at the same time, like, we also like do our research and try to get people on that, we're like, oh man, they really know their stuff. But the flip side of that is and I said this in my video today, is we all know that guy that knows so much about
or gal
about waterfowl, about deer, whatever, that doesn't even have a social media presence potentially.
No,
that
knows more
knows more than we'd ever forget. So that's kind of my thinking with this. And of course, just getting to know you guys. I mean, I just think it's going to be cool. Like, Theo Vaughn, and this isn't really what triggered me to think about this, but he does something similar on his podcast where he'll just have like a janitor on or like a police officer.
Yes.
And it's just a random like janitor. like, or
That's
he had a
awesome.
lunch lady on one time.
Well, no, and then
This winter, elevate your outdoor pursuits with Williamson Outfitters, offering professionally guided experiences along Florida's Forgotten Coast. From coastal duck hunting to inshore fishing, every Williamson Outfitters trip is led by a seasoned captain, delivering world-class adventure with true local expertise. From small private groups to large corporate retreats, Williamson Outfitters' fleet of well-equipped boats and experienced guides provide first-class winter outdoor experiences for sportsmen of all ages and skill levels. And for those planning ahead, Williamson Outfitters is already booking spring and summer charters. Secure your fishing, flounder gigging, and family adventure dates now before their calendar fills up. Call or text 850-251-8650 or visit floridaducks.com to reserve your outdoor experience. Williamson Outfitters, making the Forgotten Coast unforgettable.
the whole point here is that there are some incredible people that either A, they don't seek attention, or B, just don't give a shit about social media or whatever. And I think some of the most incredible people that we've had on this podcast are people that aren't in the mainstream media, man.
100%.
I could name, I'm not going to name names because I won't name enough, but Tristan and I, there's been so many of you that we've had on this podcast that we get off of it and we bump fists and we're like, dude, that's the best podcast we ever had. So, part of this is like really just also discovering you, you know what I mean? Whoever you are, and you want to do that, man, we want to have you on and let's drink a bush light. Let's talk some hunting or outdoors and have a good time.
Yeah, so to do that, I'm going to drop this podcast. Today is like the 22nd or whatever, so this will be out either tonight or tomorrow. But next Friday, I'm going to do just a random drawing. So DM One Hell of a Life podcast on Instagram or hit us up on TikTok, shoot a DM. And if you shoot us a DM, I will put you into that drawing. I think the way I'm going to do it is like, unless it gets too crazy, I think the way I want to do it is like once you enter into it, you're still in there until you get pulled. So like you don't have to every week like keep, putting your name.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that would be kind of annoying. But like if you come on the podcast, obviously you're not going to be in that drawing anymore. So
Well, and let me be quite frank with you. If you put your name in and we see that you're not following any of our shit, you're not getting on the podcast.
well, you know, I mean, but I hope
No,
that
no, I'm
people,
serious. I'm not,
I hope
I
that
say
people
that
see.
lightly because
I
I
hope that
was
people
guilty.
see that video that I just posted and come like, hey, these guys are doing something different. I want to, you know, learn about what they're doing. So it doesn't matter if you just heard about us today, you know, and this is the first
Yeah,
time you're listening to us. It's like the whole church thing. Like, yeah, we'd love to connect with you if this is your first time.
right.
like, like we got a gift there in the back. You know, you just you know what I'm talking about. Like, they have, like there's always like we got the gift station in the back. Come over and
Yeah.
introduce us and get plugged in.
No, but I love this. You know, I kind of look at it like, similar to like, in a way, it's, we're so big about reality. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
and
there's
this is
so many
reality.
undiscovered diamonds and so many different facets of who people are.
And
You know, we see it
fantastic
every day
stories.
on America's Got Talent or, American Idol or anything like that, man. It's just that there are so many diamonds of people out
Hmm.
there that are waiting to be discovered. And we just want to be a part of that, man.
Yeah, and then just I think it'll help us kind of learn who supports us. You know, I mean,
That's right.
I obviously we talk to a lot of you guys pretty often that listen to the podcast just through text and DMs and stuff like that. But I think it, you know, even some of you folks that we talk to on a regular basis, you know, it's like some of you folks we've never met before, so it's like to be able to have those conversations and you know one that just comes off the top of my head is somebody that when we had Colton on the podcast, somebody
Yeah.
we've I mean, hunted with thousands of hours, but you sit down and have an hour and a half uninterrupted with somebody, you learn so much about their life, and then you end up leaving like feeling inspired or feeling like
Yeah.
holy cow, like you know that was a cool story or whatever, you know. So it is really neat, you know. I mean, there's nobody that uh, honestly, there's no hunter that doesn't have a cool story to tell. I'll tell you
Yeah.
that.
Well, and it's not always just about what they do in their hunting life, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we know so many people that either, it's something that they do, maybe it's a veteran that we had on and something
Mm-hmm.
they did that was incredible, or, you know, um, it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't necessarily have to be hunting. I mean,
No.
yeah, they're in the outdoors or they're a hunter or a fisherman or whatever it might be. And that is kind of like how we connect. But at the same time, there's some great people that have professional careers that do what they do that, man, I want to dig into some of that if they allow us to, I mean, I'd
Yeah.
love this
100%.
show to be more of just like when you listen to us, like, dude, we're not going to just sit here and talk about, what we did in the green timber,
Yeah.
to get them mallards to fall
The
through. If we came out of a podcast with some kind of you're a salesperson and there was some guests we had on that gave some kind of power tip on how to improve your funnel, dude, power on, right? I mean,
yeah.
that kind of stuff I like outside of just the hunting stuff that we talk about is that's just an example.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And I love that kind of stuff too. I think a lot of times what we find ourselves doing is you get an hour and a half into the podcast and then you're like, shoot, man, we could have a whole hour and a half on everything else, you know, but I definitely love hearing about business stuff. And I'm a big like, I know you are too, just like wherever you can being in sales, it's like you're stupid to not try to pick up a little business tip or a little, you know, thing here or there, and outside of that just the way people you know make a living, because the fact of the matter is none of what we do in the outdoors is cheap. So it is interesting, especially
Mhm.
when people are successful hunters. You know, it's like, okay, what do you do to be able to have the time off to go do that, or to have the freaking badass gear you do? You know, it's interesting to hear those stories, because then it's like motivation to you. You're like, damn, okay, that's a never heard of going that route before, man.
That's right. Well, I was just and I've been making a point of doing this, and I think I mentioned it on the podcast before, is and I'm just going to keep doing it because I don't think enough of us do it, and I'm going to keep pushing this, is that man, we have a brother and sisterhood in
Mm-hmm.
the hunting community that is like nothing else. I mean, we really do.
Yeah.
It is and that's why so many veterans love it. There's like a camaraderie factor, and this blood. We all know it, right? I mean, we have that buddy, that friend, that mom, brother, sister, grandpa, whatever it is. It's this lifeblood tie, right? That we have, and why don't we talk more about what we do to that consumes most of our life,
Right.
right? And that's the professional side of it. And very few of us do this for a living. I mean, of course, Tristan and I do this for a living for nothing, but it's
It's a full other job, I'll tell you
no,
that.
I tell people all the time it's just like an artist trying to make it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, it's crazy to me. Like I always like to use the Chris Stapleton example. Is if you go back and listen to some of his early shit, you're like, dude, why don't they play this all the time? I
Yeah.
mean, it's just you're like, I never even knew who he was then. But no, we need to learn more about each other on that side of it and help each other out. I mean, like network. Like
Yeah.
if you're in sales, the lifeblood is it's not what you know, it's who you know, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows that saying, right? And every time I go in the blind now, and I did it last weekend in Arkansas, I said, "Hey, uh, my name's Tony." Introduce myself or whatever, and um, I was helping out with Kade or whatever, and he had some guests in there that were hunting, and we all they all took turns telling me what they did, you know, and dude, you don't even realize how many conversations, how many opportunities you may have left behind by not having that conversation with, hey, what do you do for a living?
Yeah.
And I want to make a push on that in our community, because what better of like a soft close lead in, whatever you want to call it, introduction, whatever, than somebody that you're in a brotherhood with, you know what I mean? Sisterhood,
Well,
that kind of thing. So
I
I hope I'm making sense what I'm talking about, but I
yeah.
think it's very important that we utilize that. All of us do.
It's funny, and I I know you've ran into this several times. I've ran into it a handful of times. Um, when you're on a sales appointment and you walk into that dude's office and he's got deer heads and he's got ducks and all that, and that just happened to me this week, and I was just like, all right, I gotta talk to this guy, And we were talking about duck season and stuff, and he was telling me how they went out with 11 guys to Arkansas and were out there for a week or whatever and shot 50 ducks, which I mean, not terrible hunting, but you're out there for a week with 11 guys. It's like obviously probably expectations were a little bit higher than that, but we were just talking about how tough it was. But to your point, like uh, just keeping your eye out for those things, and just, I mean, obviously that's an obvious one when you walk into somebody's office, but I was like, this is I love those opportunities to kind of just share the outdoors with people, especially in business, because it just is such a good icebreaker.
Well, I mean, Tristan, just think about, and I want everybody that's listening to right now, just pause and think how many people that you have shared a deer hunting camp with, a duck blind with, um, you went on a canoe trip, um, whatever it is outdoors, right? Think about, I mean, I'm just gonna wrap mine up real quickly, but think about how many people you met that you could have duly helped each other, right?
Hmm.
I mean, it's staggering, really. And if you like, I'm thinking about to myself that in just 1 year, I potentially am around, through the hunting camps that we go to and the public land that we go to, people we talk to, the banquets we go to, the conventions, all those things. It makes me sad that I haven't done my job, So that's my big focus for 2026, honestly, and I'm going to push it big on this podcast, and hopefully from me doing that and getting in your brain, that I'm going to help make you more successful person or whoever you meet. I mean, I just I've been in business a long time, and It couldn't be truer. That's more about who you know, not what you know.
Yeah, no, 100%.
So,
Um, I learned that the hard way from my time in packaging. That's definitely how that world is. but
let
but no,
me get a beer real quick.
well, that's I'm gonna pause it real quick because I gotta get one. How do I pause this podcast? Can I pause it? I don't know if I. Oh wait, I'm gonna pause it. What's up, guys? Tristan here. If you're like us, you need gear that's going to stand up to the elements and not break the bank. That's exactly what we love about Frog Talks. They just dropped their brand new Oxbow waterfowl series, and let me tell you, this stuff is built for serious hunters who don't want to quit when the weather turns nasty. It's tough, lightweight, and waterproof. Everything you need when you're out there chasing ducks. If you're looking to upgrade your gear this season, head over to frogtalks.com and use code OneHellOfALife Outdoors at checkout for 15% off your order.
Right on.
All right, so we're back. All right, coming off of what we were just talking about, we wanted to hop into this whole veterans hunt thing we got going on in Arkansas this year, and talk some snow geese too after that. The cool thing is, obviously, I'm not a veteran, but I get to film, which is just as fun a lot of times. Even as shooting birds, it's really a blast to make some cool
Well, it
content.
extends your shooting season, so to speak.
Yeah, 100%. And yours.
Mm-hmm.
But it's cool. So Arkansas made it this year. It's 2 days. So it's the 7th and 8th, or the 8th and 9th, one of the two.
7th and 8th.
But we're pumped about that. We're going to be out there in Arkansas and doing, I think we're going to do Saturday at Kade's, and then Sunday we're going to hunt the public timber, which I got to 100% look. But I know that's how it used to be with the whole vets hunt before, is that basically you can hunt till dark. And I need to confirm, like, we need to look up and confirm that, because basically the way they did it last year is it was 1 day and you can hunt all day long, even on public. I don't know if that's how it's going to be for both days, or if they're just doing that for the second day, whatever. But regardless, the fact that they're opening it up for 2 days is awesome, because it gives us a lot of flexibility. I'm just hoping, with the way this duck season's been, and this weather front, man, the ducks should be Arkansas and south. So February 7th and 8th, as long as it doesn't continue to freeze all that time, if we get a warm up, it should be really damn good. But I
Look
don't
what
know.
Chat GPT says.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to be able to see it. It says, yes, on Arkansas WMAs during the special active duty military and veteran waterfowl hunt, you can hunt ducks and other waterfowl until sunset on that day. Normally, shooting on WMAs during the regular duck season ends at noon, and in water inundated areas must be vacated by 1 p.m. But there is an important exception for the veteran hunt. Let's go, vets. Come on, dude. Listen, it's the one time. And I hope we smoke them in the morning. Honestly, I don't care about hunting all day. But to have the opportunity to shoot at ducks up until, say, basically 6 hours later than they're used to.
Mm-hmm.
if you can't shoot them, I don't know what to say, man. I mean, if we come out of that day and we don't have a successful hunt, I'm not gonna be a crybaby about it. I mean, I've had veteran hunts like that, but it sure is the right recipe for success. So we'll see.
Yeah, and I think what's exciting about it is, like, a couple things. One, I mean, in theory, there's not going to be as many hunters.
There's youth involved too, so that's cool for them too.
By the sheer numbers, there's not going to be as many hunters, you would think. But it's going to be one of those deals. It's like, okay, so they're banging them over there, and they got their limit and left. Okay, sweet, let's go over there and shoot some ducks.
You have all day. Yeah,
exactly. So that's kind of what I'm looking forward to. I think, even if the morning doesn't start out that great, I think you have it all day like that. You have time to make some adjustments that you would never be able to do any other time, because every hole is being hunted and all the pressure and all that, and then obviously be on there.
Dude, let's talk about that for a minute. No, for real. Bro, y'all are getting so damn creative on this game on the public land in Arkansas. It's been making me cry out loud laughing. When I saw somebody on a horse, I was like, I thought it was AI. I was like, no way, that's bullshit. And I looked, and it wasn't. And then
Yeah,
I
it's
saw
like
another one the other day that these guys all on the horseback basically let all the e-bikes and all the people running go first. And then, bro, you just see them, yeah. I mean, just flying by everybody, dude. On horseback? Are you shitting me, dude?
I know,
This
it's
is
insane.
good stuff. I mean, talking about pulling a strategy move. I like it, dude. I love it. What about the kid
I
in
don't
like,
know if it's good stuff, but it's funny stuff objectively.
dude? What about the dude that it's on the gate and he just jumps over the gate and he's in white tennis shoes and like looks like swimming trunks? He freaking
Oh yeah, I think I
takes-
saw that one too. No, yeah, there's a lot of guys that'll be out there in cleats and freaking whatever, you know. It's crazy. It
Man,
really is pretty crazy.
but you know what?
The
I
horse
do
thing in particular is so funny. I mean, that is just like bro brought his horse out to get this duck hole.
Next
I
thing you
mean,
know,
that's just
bro.
crazy.
Well, and next thing you know, it's going to be like some debate on Arkansas duck cutters that an Arabian is faster than a freaking a quarter horse or
Man,
something like that.
look at you dropping on your F bombs or working on dropping your F bombs. Sorry.
I am. I'm working on my military voice.
Oh boy. No, but obviously snow geese, we're super excited about that. Our friend Cal, that has been on this podcast 2 different times. Well, two things. One, we're going to snow geese hunt butting up to the vets, so hopefully we have some luck there. But the other thing I was just going to say is Cal has been on this podcast. He worked a deal out with Kade where I guess he's going to be doing some guiding for Kade for a number of days there in mid-February.
Dude, listen, I can't bring up Cade and Cal in the same sentence without talking about what Cade did to Cal, dude. This is one of the best setups I've ever seen of a new person getting introduced into like the brotherhood of Cache, Arkansas that I've ever seen in my entire life. So,
Wait.
huh?
I think I know what you're about to say, but do you think Kay did this to mess with him? Or do you think it was
Oh, 100% he did.
Really?
110%. So, and I'm gonna chop this up, I know, but here's the gist of it, y'all. So Cade's got hunters that are coming in, paid hunters and all this stuff, and Cal came in and as a paid hunter as well, but he's also like when I introduced Cade or Cal to Cade, Cal he's a great goose hunter. If you guys follow us, you saw that I went up there to Chicago and smashed honkers with him. He lives up in that area, but he's also an incredible snow goose hunter. He really he knows how to whack them. Well, I'm telling Kate all about him, build him up this whole time, before they meet and everything. And Kate just knows him as a goose smasher, So Cade apparently tells his clients that's going to be in the same blind with Cal that Cade, and I'm going to chop this up, but just
Okay. I thought you were into
he tells those clients that y'all are going to be hunting with a buddy of mine that's an 8-time Tokyo goose calling champion, and then like a 7-time something like Bulgaria but like different places of the world. And Cal has no idea that Kate has told these clients this.
That's right.
So Cal, I want to have Cal on, let him tell the story from his perspective because it's incredible. But Cal said that he gets in the blind.
What's up, guys? If you want coffee that doesn't suck, you probably can guess what I'm going to say. Get the Duck. Dirty Duck Coffee is the official coffee of the One Hell of a Life Outdoor Podcast, and they have a great lineup of different coffee blends, everything from Morning Wood and First Flight to Dark Dynasty and Suns Up, Guns Up. You can't go wrong with Dirty Duck Coffee, and they have a great lineup of cold brew cans, mocha, French vanilla, original cold brew, and cinnamon teal snickerdoodle. If you want 15% off your next order, use code One Hell of a Life 15 on your next order.
these guys, like he said, I'm getting my bag ready and doing all this stuff, and I hear somebody say something about a trophy and everything, and he goes, I really didn't pay it much mind. I'm like, what are they talking about, and everything else. Well, apparently, I guess some geese fly in and they were close to shooting or whatever. And Cal turns around and looks down the blind, and every one of them are staring at him.
Like, what are you gonna do? Like,
what do we do? 8-time world champion. I just wish to God I would have been there, but oh my God! But Cal had no idea that Kade had kind of set him up for that, and it was just, I mean, boys being boys. It was one of the funniest.
Went on to be the joke of the weekend.
Can you imagine? Because Cal, I can just see him getting his bag ready and everything, and then people, man, so you got like a 8-time trophy, and he's.
I just like how he's like that. These geese come over and he looks down the blind. They're all looking at him like
they're all staring at him. Like, what do we do? 8-time champion?
Yeah, like, are you gonna call those? Like,
are you gonna call shot? What's going on? I wanted to put this quote out there because I told Kyle last night. I said this might be the best thing you've ever said to me in your life. He said, I'll resign from my job if I have to, like Bodie did on Point Break because of the snow goose thing that's getting ready to happen. And he put in quotes, he said, when the thaw of 2026 happens, it's going to send a surge of snow geese, 10 million strong north. And in Cache, Arkansas, it will be the bloodiest snow goose battle of all time. And I will be there. Oh, that's the best thing you've ever said in your life.
Well, I thought where you were to go with that story. This is another funny one from that trip. Is so Kade, which I didn't know where you're going with this, but my understanding is Kade and Riley and company saw a bunch of geese in this field or whatever, a bunch of snow geese in this field. And Cal's like, okay, well, let me try to figure out these snow geese, let me get out here or whatever. And Cal just kind of did his own thing and went to hunt in this field or whatever. And Cal said he started setting up, and he's looking around. He's like, all these geese around here are all in, rice fields and bean fields and whatever. And then he's looking around, and he's like, Kade's got me out here in the cabbage field. There's like little cabbages growing around. And he's like, oh, he's messing with me. He's like, we're gonna see how good.
He thought he put him in the cabbage field
We'll see how good of a snow goose hunter he is, see if he can kill him. That's what Cal was thinking. But Kade was like adamant. He's like, no, there was geese in that field, which I believe Kade too. But it was funny. Cal was looking at it like, man, he's setting me up. Because we all know setting a snow goose spread is so much fun.
No, but man, let's just think about this on a very logical level, and that is, this freeze is pushing so far deep. I mean, to where outfitters in Arkansas are canceling all duck season through the 31st, right? The thaw starts to happen on the 3rd into the 4th, and dude, snow goose hunting, it's going to be stupid, dude. This is the best setup for rocking snow geese, at least in Arkansas and everybody on the way up north, because in theory, we should get a longer snow goose season. It should be more of a trickling effect because those juvies always go later than the adults do. But you're talking about, Tristan, if you can flash that video, man. I saw, and this is saying something. I'm not saying I've seen it all because people that live there would be able to beat me probably, but man, I've been going there 5-6 years now, and I had never seen anything like that on a flight. It was V's. We all see the V's, right? Like there's a whole V's. They're going, and there's 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, whatever. This was it looked like something was taking over the earth. That's what it looked like. It looked like snow geese were coming to take over the earth. It just really, if you didn't know anything at all and you weren't a waterfowl hunter and you're just standing outside your house one day and looked up and saw that, you would be like, dude, the world's getting ready to end. This is getting ready to be like a plague or something. So
I know that is incredible. That video, I was like, holy shit, that's a lot of geese.
Yeah, man. I mean, that was definitely, we've had a lot of those experiences along the way where we thought we saw a lot of snow geese. No, not like that. Not like that. And if you see that video, y'all, it was going on like that for well over an hour, which is crazy. So, I've got to run to the restroom real quick.
Well, I was about to wrap it up, honestly.
All right, I'll be right back.
Okay. Well,
say what you gotta say. Do what you gotta do.
I goes following them. No, but thank you guys for tuning in to the podcast. Seriously, it means a lot to us. You know, if you want to support what we do, onehelloflifeoutdoors.com. We got all kinds of merch on there right now. We're going to keep at it. Excited for the little segment we announced earlier, or not segment, just having whole podcasts with some of our listeners. We're really excited for that. So hope if you're listening to this and you're still got some duck season left, that you can capitalize on this this cold front that's coming through, this mega snowstorm. So that's really all I got. If y'all, another little housekeeping thing, you know, we always appreciate when people like, subscribe, and you know, drop reviews and stuff like that. I think it's supposedly supposed to help us push out further and seen more. So definitely appreciate when y'all do that. So that's all.
No, we want to earn it. We don't always want to be that person that every time you see us that we say, hey, like and subscribe, you know what I mean? But we do appreciate it. That one little click does make a difference for us. But hey, one thing I did want to do before we get out of here, Tristan, is listen, if you guys want to go snow goose hunting, call Kade at Delta Thunder Outfitters. All right. Tristan, I don't know if you can flash his contact information up or anything like that, but you guys can just
send the number real quick. Hold on.
Yeah, hold on one second. But he's got plenty of openings. But I'm telling you guys,
I don't know about plenty.
As his waterfowlers, we all know that what's getting ready to happen, and he's gonna book up really fast. And I'm thinking that, I mean, I've shot him in March there. I'm thinking it's gonna go well into a couple weeks into March. We'll see, but
870-926-7944. He's located in Northeast Arkansas, and yeah, it should be pretty
$200 a day, dude. It's the working man's price.
Mm-hmm.
You will not. I mean, come on, dude. That's so cheap. $200 a day, $40 a night for lodging. You guys need to get with him, dude.
I think the lodging's free if you have 10 or more, isn't it?
Yep. If you got 10 or more, based on availability, of course, that kind of thing. But y'all, just outside of that, you'll have a hell of a time there. It's one hell of a life at Delta Thunder Outfitters.
That's right. Well, guys, thank you for tuning in, and yeah, I think you said it best. One hell of a life. So,
all right, son, be safe out there, and if it's not rainy and all that stuff, I might get over to your house and watch a football game and drink beer.
Yeah, there we go.
All right.
I've been southbound, I've been hellbound, riding on the midnight train. Going too fast now, think I ought to slow down, standing in the pouring rain.